You know what? Go ahead and spoil the movie in the comments section. It's been what, 3 weeks? I should have put Operation Catfish in the thumbnail. I mean, who would get mad? What's up, everyone? I watched Sonic 2 again to get my final thoughts on the movie. I would have watched it sooner, but I was pretty sick. I couldn't go out. We can thank the cold for that.
You, Cold! You stink!
So after 3 weeks, is it still good, or was it movie hype? It's good. And not just that, so far, this is the best video game movie. Maybe this will be a turning point. Maybe future video game movies will see this as an inspiration, or the standard. It really shouldn't be that hard to be faithful to the source material. So, let's do a recap on the plot, and along the way I'll point out some Easter eggs. And if I missed any, it's not like a bomb's gonna go off. And if one does, then I hope no one gets hurt. So, let's get started. Eggman has been on Mushroom Planet for 200-something days. His only source of food? Mushrooms. Gross-tasting mushrooms. He makes a coffee out of them and he spits every time. It reminded me of the Super Broly movie when Broly and his dad Paragus were trapped on planet Vampa, and their only food was nasty-tasting bug guts. What choice do you have? Oh, and by the way, if Eggman was trapped on Vampa, he would have gotten out before Frieza Day. Using the remains of his jet from the first movie and Sonic's one quill he acquired, he made a distress beacon that called 3 masked warriors that we never see again in the movie. If you're confused, there is a prequel comic that fills you in on who they are and where they're from. I didn't read the comic, so looking at this movie alone, they made for good canon fodder to show how smart Eggman is. He set booby traps around using ropes and rocks. These guys had laser nunchucks, and he beat them with a rock. So with the coast clear, he bid farewell to the piece of shiitake planet and ran for that portal ring. But who's on the other side? Knuckles! The music was swelling up when we first see him, and his fist is going through that portal. And Eggman is so freaked out, he trips and falls, and Knuckles is all, "Where did you get that quill?" But knowing how cunning Eggman is, he puts 2 and 2 together. Oh, you know him? I can... show you the way. Boo. At least it wasn't Knuckles saying it, and it was nowhere as blatant as the first movie doing the Sonic meme. It felt like this movie wanted to get it over with. There, we did the thing. Happy? Now let's move on. After the title sequence, we're in Seattle at night. Robbers are getting away with an armored van holding tons of cash, and they're using bombs to fight the cops. And on the rooftop is Sonic getting pumped. Kinda like his campaign intro in SA1. He's flexing, eating a chili dog, and moves out. I don't think I've ever seen Sonic go vigilante before. And he's pretty full of himself. He's talking to the kidnapped cop. "Don't worry, citizen, I'm here to help you. I am the Blue Justice." And he unknowingly causes a lot of damage. He tosses the bombs in garbage trucks in the sewer, which causes water to shoot out to the streets. Maybe a nod to Chaos Flooding Station Square? Probably not. Not everything is a reference. Oh, and this scene had a line I thought was really funny. He can't stop the van, and it's going towards a crowd of people. So he gets a power drill and goes, "Remain calm, this is only a drill." And he unscrews every bolt in the van. So Sonic goes to another rooftop in front of a full moon, kind of like the ending of 06. And he's all, "You're welcome, citizens." But that one cop he saved is not happy.
You suck!
Sonic runs back to Green Hills in his room that Tom and Maddie made for him in the last movie. By the way, I don't think Maddie's ever been called Pretzel Lady in this movie, so I'm just gonna call him Tom and Maddie. But it's alright. He'll always be Donut Lord in my heart. So he's fishing with Tom, and Tom is lecturing him like, "You gotta be more responsible with your powers. I mean, you destroyed a city block." Sonic is being immature and calling himself a hero. And he's being all, "Oh come on, don't act like my dad." But knowing Tom, he says this to Sonic. Being a hero isn't about protecting yourself, it's protecting those you care about. And during the scene, Sonic falls out of the rowboat, flailing, splashing, "I can't swim!" Very common in the games, and important to a later scene. For the weekend, Tom and Maddie are off to Hawaii for Rachel's wedding. You remember Rachel, Maddie's sister in the first movie, who really doesn't like Tom. But for the wedding, she tries to make peace with him, like they hug, but she says to his ear, "If you ruin this for me, I will end you." And who's her fiance? Criminal Minds' Shamar Moore, who is ripped in this movie. I mean, there's a scene where he's playing volleyball against Tom, and he is shredded. We'll get to the wedding subplot later. It's super important. So Sonic's got the house to himself for the weekend, and this is when it feels like those Smurfs or Alvin and the Chipmunks movies where they just have fun because the parents are out. He makes a mess throughout the house because, well, he can, and he can fix it in a second, so whatever. And they do the Tom Cruise risky business thing where he slides his sunglasses on. And I still haven't seen this movie, even though I've seen it referenced hundreds of times. This is the last scene where it feels like the first movie. The first movie, low stakes, lighthearted, good fun. During the night, this is when it feels like a sequel. So there's a power outage, and sparks are flying throughout the front door. And as it opens, who's on the other side? Eggman. And Sonic is all, I don't know how you got out, but you made a big mistake coming here. And Sonic is about to punch him after he threatened Tom and Maddie, but Eggman gently steps aside, and who's behind him? Knuckles. To Sonic's surprise, and Knuckles thrashes him through the wall. So Sonic is fighting back, but this is such a one-sided fight. He charges a spin dash and goes towards Knuckles in his blue surge mode, and Knuckles blocks it, like barely showing any effort. Yeah, before seeing this movie, I was curious to hear how Idris Elba would sound as a 16-year-old, but I should have realized sooner. His Knuckles voice is what he sounded like at 16. Okay, Mom and Dad, off to the prom, and if anyone spikes the punch bowl, I'll kick their asses. Be back by 10. And another thing, this movie uses the Sonic rival formula. A rival one-ups Sonic, and he has to fight him later. This established that so well. Knuckles is such a powerhouse that seemed untouchable. And Sonic is probably aware he has to go toe-to-toe with Knuckles again. Then Knuckles pins Sonic to the tree and starts interrogating him on the coordinates for the Master Emerald, which Eggman catches wind of. Sonic has no idea what he's talking about, and Knuckles talks about how the Echidna and Owl tribes have been at war with each other for centuries, all for the Emerald's power. He refers to Sonic as Apprentice of Longclaw, the owl mother figure who raised Sonic in the first movie. If you've seen it, you know she goes out fighting the Echidnas. But all of a sudden, a cop car hits Knuckles. And who is the driver? Tails! And he says to Sonic, come on, get in, I'm on your side. But Sonic is, man, I don't know who you are. But as Knuckles is getting up, Sonic goes, it doesn't matter. His main theme from the Avenger games. Probably not an intentional reference, since not everything is a reference, but I like it anyway. Sonic and Tails are driving away, but Knuckles is in pursuit. He's not as fast as Sonic, but he can still keep up. And during the chase, he punches through a truck with Splash Hills on it. Yeah, take that, Sonic 4. That's for Little Planet. Knuckles jumps on the car and he's punching through the roof like a killer in a slasher movie. Tails drives the car over the cliff and holds Sonic as he's flying away. But Knuckles jumps off and clings to the cliff. We see Knuckles climbing in this movie. You hear the impact of his fist meeting the rock. Eggman makes contact with Agent Stone from the first movie, who's running a small cafe in Green Hills called The Mean Bean. Agent Stone is so excited. He's back! He shuts down shop, replaces his good review with a bad one, like F-, and exposes all the secret computers and devices in the cafe. He summons a satellite shaped like an egg to reach down and meet Eggman, and out comes the Egg Drones, Buzz Bombers, and Eggman gets a new coat and says, I have been rehatched! Okay, this guy wanted to be called Eggman since the beginning. How many clues do you need? In the first movie, he even says, look what came out of my egg sack. So Sonic calling him Eggman, it wasn't an insult, it was him saying inside, finally, someone gets it! So Eggman meets up with Knuckles and offers an alliance. He knows Earth well enough, and Knuckles can't reach the Master Emerald on his own. You see, Earth is my turf, G. I have no idea what you just said. So Eggman introduces handshakes to him, and Knuckles unknowingly broke his hand. Eggman is all, you broke my favorite hand! But Knuckles looks at his own going, funny, mine's uninjured. In The Mean Bean, Eggman introduces Stone to Knuckles, who also shakes his hand and breaks it, and Eggman comforts Stone by saying, that means he trusts you. Back to Sonic and Tails. With the map that Longclaw gave Baby Sonic, a hologram of her shoots up and explains to him what the Master Emerald is. So the Master Emerald in this series, it's basically all the Chaos Emeralds wrapped in one. It can do the same thing, transform your thoughts into reality. Being one MacGuffin instead of 7, it makes things more concise and faster paced. They figure out the compass to the Master Emerald is in Siberia, so Sonic pops up a portal ring and says, let's go, Tails. But Tails is scared. Wait, I'm not going with you. I just came here to warn you about Knuckles. Tails is timid and scared. But Sonic, his hero, is all, don't worry, nothing will happen. I got your back. Sonic and Tails do a power bump, which he did with Tom and Maddie earlier. I should have brought it up before. Whoops. And he's saying to Tails, the power bump is an unbreakable promise. And Tails' spirits are raised, so they're off to Siberia. And in Siberia, they get some disguises and go to a bar, and right away, everyone hates their guts. This guy's pounding a knife into a table, this old lady is knitting a skull. Yeah, what timing? Oh, and this guy chops the fish's head off, and as the head rolls to Sonic and Tails, it says in a deep voice, run. So Tails is super nervous, but Sonic is trying to let him feel confident. So they go to a table, and Tails uses a device with Miles Electric on it, like in the games, to speak to the waitress in Russian. And wouldn't you know it, the translator's a little wonky. It's funny here since the stuff he says is offensive. In colors, it was just random bubblegum junk food whatever. Tails explains that Sonic's EMP pulse at the baseball field in the first movie pinpointed to where he is. That's how Tails was able to track him. And Tails has been watching him for a while. Sonic is going, even in the shower? Haha, trick question. Sonic the Hedgehog takes bubble baths. Okay. And Sonic just gets over that. Thanks to more mistranslations, the entire bar is about to kill Sonic and Tails by throwing them into the fire, but Tails says a word that challenges the bar. If they win, they'll live. So we get to this dance-off against this super ripped Russian guy with a tattoo of himself on his chest. Sonic and Tails are dancing, but they're not working well, and Tails is so anxious. Tails is having a panic attack and blaming himself for getting them into this. I can't do this, Sonic. I'm not like you. I'm such a screw-up. But Sonic is boosting his confidence, and he changes the music to that Bruno Mars song that's used everywhere. You can pick other songs. I'm not just talking about Sonic songs. Like, use some obscure dance songs, other stuff. So they're dancing way better. Tails summons a bunch of holograms to make them look flashier, and Sonic strikes the SA1 pose. Nice. Later that night, Tails shares how the kids in his village made fun of him for his two tails. They called him weird and freaky. And Tails is all, but you're weird too. And look how amazing you are. You're my hero. Like this. This was in the Japanese manuals in Sonic 2. Tails was a victim of bullying, but his two tails were a blessing in disguise. Maybe thanks to this movie, little kids will see themselves in Tails. And Sonic, being so proud of him, urged Tails to hug him. Like, it was sweet. So Tails is sleeping by the fire, and Sonic puts a blanket on him for warmth. And he's lying next to him, and Tails uses his two tails to cover Sonic. I'm like, that is so freaking cute! Oh, and during the bar scene, Sonic is texting Tom, and thanks to that, Eggman is onto them. He's tracking them in his cafe, and Knuckles is reading out loud. ... That got a big laugh in the theater where I saw this the first time. Eggman finds out Sonic is in Siberia, and is about to leave with Knuckles and not Agent Stone. But Knuckles is all, what about your minion? Isn't he coming with us? But the self-centered Eggman is going, nah, we're ditching him. And Knuckles, the proud warrior he is all, dishonor. But Eggman snaps back, this is how I roll. So, we're in a temple in the mountains. Sonic and Tails find the compass to the Master Emerald, but Eggman and Knuckles show up with a bunch of drones and buzz bombers. During the fight, Sonic busts one of the robots and gets a makeshift snowboard. Did he escape much? So yeah, we see Sonic snowboarding. He and Tails split up. Tails doesn't get a snowboard, he just flies around. But Knuckles does get a snowboard, and I love how he got it. He was just standing there, punched a random robot, and took metal from it to make a snowboard. So during the chase, Sonic uses his hyper speed to do a slow-mo part, like in the first movie. He's playing around with soft music playing, and he mocks using guns, like in the first movie. So Knuckles is in pursuit. I've been training my entire life for this moment. But the snarky Sonic is all, and I have done zero training, and look at me, I'm ahead of you. Ah, talk about embarrassing. After the chase, they get into this argument about each other's tribe ruining their lives. Yeah, Sonic has some ire towards the Echidna tribe for ruining his life, but Knuckles is all, ruin your life? So on the day when Longclaw was killed, the 6-year-old Knuckles was about to go with the remaining Echidnas, but his dad said, this isn't your moment, but it will come. And those were the last words he said to him. Knuckles never saw his dad again, so he supposedly died in the fight. This got me thinking, did Longclaw kill all the Echidnas? It was just her there, and there were a dozen Echidnas. Longclaw went out taking all of them with her. Jeez, you don't mess with Longclaw. And Sonic is showing some empathy to him. We both lost everything that day. And Knuckles is feeling some remorse. For a split second, you see him thinking, maybe this guy's not so bad. But then Tails tases him, and Knuckles is spitting, Deceiver! And Sonic is on the defensive, no, it wasn't a trick! Thanks a lot, Tails. Maybe Knuckles would have seen the light and turned on Eggman. So Eggman snatches the compass and injures Tails through missiles, and Sonic is going to Tails, really worried about him. And Knuckles realizes he chose Hub and the Fox over pursuing the compass, and Eggman flies off with him. The explosion summoned an avalanche, and Sonic is holding Tails' unconscious body and snowboarding down, trying to escape the avalanche. But it's catching up. He's FaceTiming with Tom, which is during the wedding ceremony. And Tom's ringtone for Sonic is Green Hill Zone. At least everyone in the wedding is pissed off. If this is a reference to how a lot of us are fed up with Green Hill Zone, I appreciate it, I guess, but use other songs. Sonic has hundreds of songs. Tom uses Sonic's portal ring to bring him and Tails to the wedding, and the avalanche goes through the portal too. You got this blast of snow going through the altar. What happens next? I did not see coming. So Sonic is tased, and both he and Tails are put in cages. Who did this? A bunch of government agents. The whole wedding was a ploy to capture Sonic. Rachel wasn't aware of this. She was so furious. Her fiance, oh, his name is Randall. Randall's a government agent, so are his groomsmen, and so is the priest. He's got a taser gun in the Bible. And then the Olive Garden guy from the first movie steps on a sandcastle. Yeah, he steps on a little girl's sandcastle as he's going to the altar, in a Hawaiian shirt and slacks. And he's saying, thanks to Sonic, the government started a new agency with the sole purpose of combating alien threats. And so, the Guardian Units of Nations was born. And me, my little brother, and my cousin, we were freaking out. Guns in the movie! Guns here! There's more. The Olive Garden guy is officially the gun commander. This guy is supposed to be...
Deploy the troops now! And if you find Shadow with the black aliens, then kill them all.
But sir, isn't Shadow on our
I
side?
gave you an order, soldier. He's evil and he's the enemy. Shadow, damn you. It's been 50 years. Justice will finally be served. You killed everyone I loved. My family, Maria. Maria was like a sister to me. She was the only family I knew. It's not just about Maria. Thanks to you, everyone I knew and loved was killed when the Ark was destroyed. Worst of all, my family.
No disrespect to the actor, he's doing a really good job. It's just, it's gonna take a long time to process that this character is the gun commander. He's so non-threatening and grandpa-esque. When Rachel pieces together the initials, she's all, oh wait, G-U-N? He's all, gun, yeah. Okay. Oh, and they've got the G on their vests. And later in the movie, the commander is in a helicopter with SA-2 on it. Sonic Adventure 2, Sigma Alpha 2, the helicopter in Sonic's intro in that game. We're in gun territory, people. Maddie and Rachel get Tails' backpack with all his gadgets in there. And this is where the wedding saw plot drags. You could have taken out the part where Rachel uses the magnet boomerang. You could have taken that out and the pacing would have been faster. So it ends with Rachel's rampage against Randall and the commander. She's got Tails' little laser gun, which is an actual gun. She shoots at the cake and it explodes. And the commander is all, oh dang. So she and Randall, they make up. Randall is all, nah, it wasn't all fake. I broke the #1 rule. Never fall in love. So they kiss as a red biplane is flying through with Rachel and Randall on the banner. Then Maddie busts Sonic and Tails out, and Sonic is feeling a lot of guilt. See that kid there? He traveled across the galaxy to meet his hero, and I almost got him killed. So Sonic is running off to the Master Emerald altar, which is like 100 miles away in the middle of the ocean. He's running on water, like in Unleashed. So Sonic, Eggman, and Knuckles have reached the temple, or a labyrinth. And this is so Labyrinth Zone. Water hazards, cyan and purple crystals on the ground, death traps, spikes. Oh, and it has the dragon statues with the open mouths. Eggman and Knuckles are being careful with it, and Sonic is bum rushing through the whole thing. Eggman and Knuckles reach the altar, and Eggman is about to tase Knuckles, like in Sonic 3. And he says under his breath, you're about as useful to me as backstage passes to Limp Bizkit. I mean, ouch. But then Sonic shows up, so now it's him against Knuckles, in front of the Master Emerald, just like in Sonic 3. Alright, maybe you caught this, cause I looked. In Hidden Palace Zone in Sonic 3, there's a mural of Super Sonic fighting Eggman. I didn't see it. Maybe it was in the corner of the screen. If you find it, let me know. So this fight scene against the two, it's really good. Both guys are using chaos energy, that surge that they do to their respective fur color. It's fast, kinetic, there's a lot of oomph in their attacks, and Sonic uses the bound jump on Knuckles. He uses a triple bound jump on him, and we see Sonic punching Knuckles in the face. I gotta say, this was satisfying after all that build-up, and Sonic stays in character. Look, I don't want to fight you, but you're not giving me much choice. But the fight comes to a close as Eggman gets to the Master Emerald, and he's so giddy about it. Ultimate power, it's right there. But Knuckles is shocked. What are you doing? This wasn't part of the deal. And Eggman just takes the Master Emerald, and the whole temple is collapsing. As Eggman is fusing with the Emerald's power, he shouts, chaos is power. A mantra that was used in both SA1 and 2. Knuckles is trapped under debris as water is flowing in. Sonic grabs a rock, and he's sinking down the water to help Knuckles. As he's running low on oxygen, a bubble comes up, and he inhales it. Well, not just inhale, he slurps this thing. It was way more detailed than I thought it'd be. Sonic helps Knuckles out, and Knuckles swims away, like he can in SA2. But Sonic can't swim, but Knuckles helps him out. And we get to my favorite part of the movie. The two are on the beach, and Sonic is all, why'd you save me? Knuckles is, because you saved me, giving you a tactical advantage. It wasn't a tactic, I just couldn't let you die. Knuckles acknowledges how they're so different even though they have the same kind of past. You told me you lost everything, but you seem so free and cheerful. And Sonic is saying, because he found a new family. You don't have to be alone anymore. And the two become friends. I love that. It's saying so much about the two, Sonic's free spirit and his compassion, and Knuckles' code of honor, and a new openness to him. His life is changing, and Sonic has just become his first friend. And Sonic calls him Knucklehead, like he did in SA1. Back in Green Hills, Eggman, with the Emerald's power, teleports there. He's got all this power and doesn't know what to do with it. Agent Stone is all, "Doctor, you're here." And he says, with a reverb filter, "Yes, I'm here, but I'm not all there." Gun is right in front of the Mean Bean, and Eggman steals metal from the tanks, from the helicopters, from nearby trains, and he starts building something in the background. A giant egg robo. This thing might be bigger than Kyodai from Sonic 3. Oh, he takes Agent Stone with him after he's all, "Doctor, take me with you!" Agent Stone gets himself a cockpit with a Genesis manual. Nice touch. Then Team Sonic show up on the biplane that Tails customized. I think he put stars on it. Maybe he had that before. I'm not sure, but he definitely put laser turrets on it. So it starts with all three in the plane, but Knuckles jumps out of it, kind of like in Mirage Saloon in Mania. It has all three on it, but Knuckles is knocked out, then it's just Sonic and Tails. Here, Knuckles just jumps off. So Sonic and Tails are on the plane dodging missiles. Sonic is knocked out, and Tails is shooting at Eggman, but the mustache knocks a wing off. Knuckles is charging towards A-Robo, which does the finger walking thing, and Knuckles punches it! It was powerful enough to make him flinch. The three regroup and form a plan. They need to get the Emerald out of him. The Egg Robo summons a bunch of drones and Buzz Bombers, all with green colors now thanks to the Master Emerald. And now we see Team Sonic fighting together for the first time in live action! And it's amazing! Sonic and Tails are spinning, destroying Buzz Bombers, Knuckles throws Sonic like the Fire Dunk in Heroes, and Tails flies with Knuckles like in Advance 3, even though he's a lot heavier. I don't think I saw Tails do any solo melee fighting. No spin jump, no tail swipe, he doesn't have yellow chaos energy with his eyes going yellow. It's mainly the laser gun. Knuckles sort of does the drill dive, but it's not through the ground, it's along the ground. Inside the cockpit, Tails is using his holograms to distract Eggman, and then Knuckles shows up. "Robotnik, I'm also a hologram." Eggman is all, "Disloyalty." And Knuckles says back to him, "This is how I roll!" Then he punches the Master Emerald out of him! Yeah, like in the opening of Sonic 3, he punches the Emerald out of you! The Master Emerald falls out of the A-Robo after it injured Sonic. He's on the ground, the Emerald is a few feet away, and he's trudging towards it. I need to get that Emerald! The Egg Robo uses auxiliary power and walks towards Sonic. As he's about to step on him, Tom and Maddie drive there and carry Sonic as he got the Emerald. Egg Robo managed to damage the car, and now Sonic, Tom, and Maddie are there, surrounded by a ring of fire. And the Master Emerald crumbles. The Chaos Emeralds, which are really tiny in this movie, are tumbling out. And Sonic is losing it. No, 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 no! The Egg Robo's foot is hovering above them. Tom, Maddie, and Sonic are holding hands. Sonic says to them, "I love you guys." And the Egg Robo puts the foot down, and Eggman is celebrating, "I got him! I finally got him!" But something happens. Beneath his foot, there's a glow, a golden glow. That's right, Super Sonic! We got Super Sonic in this movie! Yeah, his fur is gold, his eyes are red, and his quills are sticking up! Oh yeah, one thing. When I saw the first movie in the theater, there was a young boy sitting next to me. He was like, I don't know, 6, crowded theater. During the final fight, he was shouting, "He's gonna turn into Super Sonic!" Wherever that boy is, I hope he watches this movie. Your wish has been granted. He flies up there, spins around the Egg Robo's head like a saw to cut it off. And Super Sonic also has a filter in the voice. Egg Robo throws a punch at him, but Super Sonic just blocks it without effort and blasts the arm off, blasts the other arm off, and he's going through the Egg Robo over and over again like in the final boss of Unleashed. And for the finishing touch, he lightly taps it with his toe like in his intro in 06. And the Egg Robo goes down. It was awesome! It isn't clear whether or not Eggman survived. So after the fight, Super Sonic is down on the ground. Tom and Maddie are about to go to him, but Knuckles reaches his arms out. Don't! He's not the Sonic you once knew. And Sonic creates a chili dog from his thoughts, thanks to the Emerald's power. As he eats it, he does this casual pose that Silver does when he finishes the stage in 06. And Knuckles is saying, "Never mind, he's the same Sonic." And a chili dog coming from the sky, possible Black Knight nod. Sonic lets go of the Emerald's power, and Knuckles repairs the Master Emerald, like he does in both adventure games. With the fight over, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles do the power bump, starting a new clan, as a team. The movie ends opposite to the baseball scene in the first movie. It's daytime, Sonic is there with his friends and family. Tails pitches to Knuckles, and Knuckles, not knowing a thing about baseball, punches the baseball out of the field. And he's going through the bases slowly. "I conquered this base! I conquered this other base!" Tom and Maddie, realizing that was their only ball, decide to go out for some ice cream. And Knuckles is all, "Are there grapes on ice cream?" Grapes being his favorite food? I like this part where he carries Tails on his shoulder as he's walking to the truck. It was sweet. And Tom and Sonic have this moment going, "Looks like you got your friends." "I've got more than that." Dad? That was cute! That was a really good movie. But it doesn't end there. In the mid-credits scene, Gunn is cleaning up the scrap after the Egg Robo battle. They don't know where Eggman is. Agent Stone is there, disguised as a gun agent. And one agent says to the commander, "Sir, as we were erasing the doctor's data, we found something. Coordinates. Something over a project 50 years ago." The people in my theater, like everyone was losing it. We cut to a secret laboratory, surrounded by computers from the 60s or 70s, and a pod opens up. When we got to the shoes, we were all thinking the same thing. Then we saw the whole body. It's Shadow! Shadow's gonna be in the next movie! Ah! Okay. The best stinger ever. Iron Man can't top it. Nothing can top this. This is the best stinger. Okay, so the camera cuts to Shadow's eyes, which open as he's in the pod, like in Team Dark's intro in Heroes. And he's also got chaos energy. His eyes surge orange. And in the games, orange is his blur color when he's going really fast. And the gun commander is saying, "My God, Project Shadow." He knows! He knows about Shadow, just like the gun commander in the games. Oh man, that moment. No secret can top it. Oh, and here's something funny. When I went on Twitter hiatus to avoid spoilers, the clip I used was Shadow going in the pod, and the movie ends with Shadow awakening from a pod. Like, out of all the clips I could use, did I pick the right one? Maybe to avoid Sonic 3 spoilers, I could use a clip of Silver going into a time portal. And the singer of that movie could be Silver jumping out of a time portal. I'm gonna do it. That's the clip I'm gonna use when Sonic 3 comes out, to avoid spoilers. Okay, so for the next movie, the gun commander is very likely to meet Shadow, and will probably hate him. If they do that, are they gonna recast this guy? Cause I can't see him as hateful. It'll be a really awkward moment if he's supposed to be angry. "Shadow, I've been waiting for this moment. You took everything from me, my whole family, and Maria, who was the only family I had. Justice is served." "What's that?" "It's a gift card to Olive Garden." "Olive Garden? But Maria always loved Olive Garden." "She told me she wanted all of us to be there someday." Oh, and in the first movie, it was him who recommended Robotnik to the government. Did he do that out of respect for Professor Gerald? The next movie is gonna be a wild ride. It's gonna be Sonic Adventure 2, the movie! Oh man, I can see it now. The poster is gonna be a recreation of the SA2 box art, like they kinda did with Sonic 2 for this movie. Is Rouge gonna be in it? Amy? It can't be one-to-one with the plot of SA2. It has to be a sequel first and foremost. I really hope we do like a Radical Highway-inspired scene. We got Shadow on the Golden Gate Bridge, and he would encounter Sonic and introduce Chaos Control. Maybe we get a scene where Sonic and Knuckles are fighting Shadow. Is the Space Colony Arc gonna be there? Because we're talking 1960s or 1970 technology. I don't think you can make this thing. Also, the backstory in SA2 does have some holes. Gerald set up the Doomsday Clock after he was executed.
Okay, men. Fire!
Wait! I need to get this video of my speech! Yeah, I need to install it on my Earth-destroying death trap!
But what about your execution?
Execution, smuxecution! Can any of you help me with this? This video needs to play before the destruction mechanism is activated.
And there would have to be a reason why Shadow coincidentally looks like Sonic. He was there first. So, who do I want to be the voice of Shadow? I think it goes without saying. And I really, really hope he's not written like one of these assholes. There is nuance and depth to Shadow. Yeah, at first he can be antagonistic, but there is a line. Oh, and for the next movie, I really hope they do Live and Learn. We haven't gotten a single Crush 40 song in this series, so for an SA2 inspired movie, you have to use Live and Learn. Maybe for the final battle, maybe in the end credits. Oh yeah, who do they fight in the end battle? Maybe BioLizard, but I don't know. Fighting a living thing may make the audience feel a little uncomfortable. Maybe Metal Sonic will be in here and he gets an Overlord form. And no, I don't want to see Black Doom. That's going way too far. Could Mephiles be in the next movie? A big stretch! But if he is in it, I wouldn't complain if he's done right. So this series might have to end with 3. If they are gonna do a 4th one, I guess 06 would be the next logical step to take. Because 06 is the last big story. After that, everything was pretty mellow. But for the time being, we'll have to wait and see. Hear updates, news, only time will tell. So overall, I very much like Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Fantastic video game movie with a lot of thought and respect put into it. And as a PG-rated action movie, which is rare nowadays, really good. I still recommend it. And I'm so excited to see where this series is going. So what are your thoughts? What would you like to see in the next movie? Thanks for watching. Till next time.